Did you know? Eating healthy foods can make you healthy. But I heard that drinking certain wines with cheeses can make you happy. Foods? Wines? Cheeses? Let's dive in.
Welcome to another Happy English podcast coming to you from New York City. And here's your English teacher, Michael.
All right, thank you, John, and thanks, everyone. It's Michael here from Happy English, and I help people speak English better. And this is Happy English Podcast, episode 904. How come we say foods, hairs, and freedoms when uncountable nouns become plural? Welcome back to another episode of the Happy English Podcast. Hey, before we get started, I wanted to let you know that the full catalog of the Happy English Podcast is now available on YouTube. Yep, that means more video episodes and live YouTube episodes. To find it, just go to YouTube and search, Happy English Podcast. You know, English is a strange language sometimes. Like, words that are usually uncountable suddenly show up with an S at the end, like foods, cheeses, and wines. Huh? Wait a minute. Aren't those uncountable nouns? Well, yes, but also no. Let me show you how it works and why it actually makes a lot of sense once you understand the pattern. First up, we have foods. This one's really common. When you talk about what people eat, we generally use food as an uncountable noun. Like, I love Mexican food, and it's important to eat healthy food. But you may hear someone say something like, you can try different international foods at the festival. Or, this supermarket sells only organic and local foods. Here, foods means types of food, like Italian food, Japanese food, street food. That's why we have a store in the States called Whole Foods, because whole foods are types of healthy, unprocessed food. So, food is what we eat, and foods refers to types of foods. And speaking of food, let's talk about cheese and cheeses. Usually, we use cheese as an uncountable noun, like David doesn't like to eat cheese, or this sandwich has too much cheese. That's cheese as a general food. It's uncountable. But then you walk into a fancy cheese shop in Manhattan, and the guy behind the counter says, "We have over 50 cheeses from Europe." And now it's countable. Cheeses means types or varieties of cheese. Same as this one. France is famous for its cheeses. Not just cheese in general, but different kinds of cheese. And I've heard that in a lot of places, these cheeses go with a variety of wines. Yes, we do this with wine too. Normally, you'd say, I don't drink wine, or this wine is delicious, or red wine goes with beef and white wine goes with chicken. But in a restaurant, you might see or hear something like, we offer a wide selection of domestic and imported wines. Wines. That means different types or brands of wine. So again, when we're talking about the general thing, wine, it's uncountable. But when we mean different types or varieties, we say wines. Let's move away from alcoholic drinks and go to one that's super common in everyday life. Coffee. You might say, I drink coffee every morning. Just the drink. But in a cafe, you could say, we ordered 2 coffees. Now, coffees means 2 cups of coffee. And when we talk about drinks, we tend to make them countable when we talk about the quantity. Like, instead of 2 cups of coffee, I drank 2 coffees. And instead of 2 glasses of water, you can order 2 waters or 2 beers if you prefer a couple of cold ones. And one more point about drinks like coffee and tea. When we refer to types of coffee and tea, like we did with wine and cheese, the words coffee and tea become countable. Like, they serve specialty coffees from all over the world. Or, the breakfast buffet has several teas from Japan and China. Coffees, teas, types of coffee and tea. And it's not only nouns for food that work like this, like hair. Hair is a collective noun referring to an entire group of similar things, like rice and salt. I can say, her hair is beautiful, or my hair is getting long. Hair here is uncountable. We're talking about all of it on your head as one thing. But we can use the plural form, hairs, when we refer to 1, 2, or 3. Like, at the restaurant, I said to the waiter, there are 2 hairs in my soup. Ew. Or, I found 3 gray hairs this morning. When we focus on the individual strands, hair becomes countable. You can actually count the hairs. Hopefully not too many gray hairs. Okay, next is beauty. Beauty is usually an idea, right? Like, I love the beauty of nature, or her beauty took my breath away. But then you might hear someone say, the tour guide showed us the natural beauties of the seashore, or this movie celebrates the great beauties of Hollywood's golden age. So, beauties means specific people, places, or things that are beautiful, not the idea of beauty itself. One more idea is freedom. This is a bit more abstract, but you'll see it in news or politics. We talk about freedom of speech, freedom of religion, and the idea that everyone deserves freedom. Freedom is a general idea, but we can also say things like, we must protect our freedoms of speech, religion, and press. Or, I appreciate the freedoms that this country has given me. Now it's countable, like wine and cheese. Freedoms refers to specific types of freedom. Are you still with me? I know, it's a lot to digest, so let's recap. In English, some uncountable nouns become countable when we talk about types or varieties like cheeses, wines, coffees, foods, individual pieces, hairs, and examples of equality, beauties, freedoms. It's not just a grammar rule, it's a way of being more specific and descriptive in English. So, here's your challenge. This week, try noticing when uncountable nouns show up with an S. Look at menus, magazines, or signs in stores. Pay attention to the details. And hey, maybe even try one yourself. And remember, if you want to practice this with me and a group of awesome learners, come check out the Podcast Learners Study Group. We meet once a week and dig into the language from these podcast episodes together. Just head to myhappyenglish.com and check out episode 904 for all the info. Thanks for listening, and remember, learning another language is not easy, but it's not impossible, and I'm here to help you on your journey.
This podcast was brought to you by Happy English. Please visit myhappyenglish.com. Show your support for Happy English by leaving us a review. Get English, get happy, Happy English.